So hi, I'm Chris. I'm the founder of V-Play, which is the first Qt-based game engine that supports high-performance apps and games for iOS and Android even before Qt 5.2 comes out. So in this talk, I'm going to show you how to use Facebook ads, in-app purchases, and more with Qt, and how to use these native plugins. And to start with, first of all, why did we create these plugins? Well, I've been programming native apps and games for iOS and Objective-C since the first iPhone came out, and then later on for Android with Java as soon as the G1 entered the market. And I was always looking for frameworks which I could use to not port my code to different platforms, but to reuse the same code and save the time for porting. And I can also still well remember when I wrote my first Qt Quick and QML-based app for Symbian, which was just like, wow, holy shit, QML, that is really cool. You can save so much time and so much code, and achieving the same results, that was just stunning. So I then had a look at, okay, what if I could write a game with QML, so lately with QML, and use that across iOS, Android, and all the other platforms that are already well supported by Qt. So I did use the community ports, which were a bit tricky to get running back at the time, but it worked. But there was one really big problem, which was performance sucked. It was like so slow whenever you wanted to make something really serious, like animated sprites, putting particle effects on screen, putting many animated sprites on screen. So that was really damn slow with QGraphics View back then, which was the reason why I then came up with the idea, okay, what if I just combine two technologies I already well know, which is Qt on the one hand for the game engine itself with a C++ core, and QML and Qt Quick for the scripting front end for the games, and Cocos2d as the underlying rendering technology, which has a top-class performance. And this is when I started 2011 merging these two technologies. And this led mid-2012, so last year, to the launch of V-Play, which is a combination of these two technologies and so to say that the best of the two worlds. And yeah, so with that we were able to publish and launch iOS and Android games already 1 year ago. So what happened then is that more and more customers signed up, and of course they wanted to monetize their games. So they were asking for ways to access monetization features from QML, and this is why we created all these plugins. So let's dive into the first one, which is a Facebook plugin. And the Facebook plugin you can use for various use cases, for example, to like an app, like a page, post something to a user wall, or get the email address from your connected users. And it's very easy to use it, because all you have to do is just write the import statement, import V-Play plugins Facebook, and then you have a Facebook item available, which you can then use to, in this example, log in the user and then open the native dialog that asks the user to enter a text that is then posted to his wall. So the second plugin that we made was for analytics, and we are using the Flurry Analytics native SDK here on iOS and Android. And this is really an important thing, that you're adding this when you're developing apps, because only then you know, okay, when are your users leaving, how long are they staying, what buttons do they click, so that you can use this data you can use to improve continuously your app. And it's also quite simple to use just as the Flurry import on the top. And then in this example, I'll call a log event, which tracks then, okay, how often users did click this button. What I did not mention before is how to test these QML files on your mobile devices. And this is where we came up with a handy solution we call the V-Play build server, which builds your whole application package in the cloud. So you don't have to build to install any native SDKs, but what is that, you just upload your QML sources and you then get a native binary package. You can then just scan a QR code on your browser and it gets directly installed to your device. So this is very easy for testing, and you can also deploy these test builds for your users. So now to the money stuff, which is the ad plugins that we just launched recently. Currently we are supporting AdMob and Chartboost ad SDKs, where Chartboost is rather targeted for games, as it only supports full screen interstitials, and AdMob supports like normal, rather business-like apps. The advantage of AdMob is that you can also add non-interstitials, so just like the banners that you probably all know from the apps. And here the AdMob advantage is that it supports smart banners, which basically scale your ads to the devices of all the devices. Otherwise, you would have kind of cropped ads, which is even more annoying than ads already are. So I think the future of ad monetization really is in-app purchases. And you can see the revenues increasing steadily from this department. And this is why we came up with an own component ready to use from QML, which is the store plugin. And the cool thing is that we have abstracted all these payment layers for iOS and Android, and you can really use for cross-platform purpose just one plugin, which is the store plugin. In this example here, I have defined a non-consumable good, which means you can buy it one time and then the user has it all over the lifetime. And it's also, that's the real power of QML. You can just connect two elements with each other by properties. So the ad, for example, is only visible as long as the user did not buy this non-consumable good. It's also quite easy. So, and there's one more big problem. How do you keep your users returning to your app? And this is why we are launching this month the V-Play Game Network, which you can think of as a game center on steroids, how I like to call it. Basically, it's a true cross-platform game network that allows leaderboards, achievements, challenges across platforms. So the same for iOS, Android, BlackBerry 10, and also the desktop platforms. And the really cool thing here is that it's fully made with Qt and for Qt. So there's a full client SDK for Qt, which you can use. And you can also use the game network for your normal apps, because that's something that drives the users back to your app. It also supports cloud storage and syncing. So you can play on one device on your tablet and return home and continue playing on your desktop, for example. This is supported. It also posts high scores and achievements automatically to Facebook to further drive new installs. So this is all that's handled for you. And it's also, you can use it fully offline, so all the requests are cached, and you even get notifications locally, even if the user is not online. You can also skin the leaderboards to your app or game, like in this customer game. So it doesn't look always the same. There's a default V-Play skin, but you can also very easily skin it thanks to QML. And to combine these features, the game network and in-app purchase features, we came up with this idea. And it's more idea. It's a component that's already available, which is called the level editor, which allows you to your users to create content in their apps and in their games. And this is what I think is really the next level of achievement and the thing to monetize apps and games. So give your users the power to create new levels while they are playing on their devices. We have ready-made components that allow to share these levels then to the whole game community, rate the levels with each other, and you can even reward the players for cool levels they've made. And as a next step, you can monetize these user-generated content. For example, if users don't want to create new levels, no problem. They can buy new levels as in-app purchases, and you as a developer don't have to continuously update your app and create new content, and your users get content for free. So there are already two examples that are using that technology, made by us and also by our customers. Just check our website, vplay.net, the showcase section, or just look for Squabby or Particle Editor in the iOS or Android app stores. Yeah, so basically you can add an app store in your app for all your apps. Sounds super complex, but I think this is really the future, how monetization will work in mobile apps. And well, right now I don't want to keep you from your well-deserved beer today. And don't forget to vote. If you liked my presentation, if you think this is cool and useful, vote for me, Christian.